How to create and organize Snowflake lesson activities. This middle page, this middle tab on your Snowflake Web account is your My Lessons Activities tab. This is where you can go to create your own lessons, and all the lessons you've played that others have created will show up here. You can also access the lessons you've liked by going down to Liked Lesson Activities. This is from the community, the ones that you have hearted and liked that you wanted to go back and view later. So on your My Lessons activity page, you can create a lesson by choosing this Create Lesson Activity, or you can go up to Create and create a lesson activity or a poll. So from here, I'm just going to say Create Lesson Activity. This will take you to a variety of lesson activity types. So you can choose from a bunch of different types. You can choose matching, a quiz, a bunch of different types here. You can also, you can choose between practice and assessment. When you go over to assessment, there's a bit less options. But these are more things that you're going to take for a grade rather than just things that your students are going to practice or play on your ClearTouch board. So let me go down to Spinner. So here's what it looks like when you go to create an activity. This lesson activity I'm going to name class roster. I'm going to create a spinner for, let's say I had students, I'm going to create a spinner for students answering questions. And I'm going to do it by student number. So within my spinner, I'm just going to put different numbers. And you can see over to the side how the spinner starts creating different numbers. If you wanted to put your actual student names in here, you could go up and spin the names and call on the student that it lands on. So here is my spinner. You could also put in questions here. You could put in student names, student numbers. You can put in different questions that the students have to answer, and you spin the questions and then call on the student to answer the questions. So you can change the font. You can change the color of the numbers or the names. You can change the background. You could also make it so that the numbers are in order or that they're randomized. So when you go back to your My Lesson Activities, you can see the spinner here is listed class roster, so it saves automatically. Your My Lessons Activities page will take you to lessons you have played from the community or lessons you have created. Once you've played them or created them, you can still edit them by choosing this gear. This will allow you to go into it just like you were creating it, but edit it. You can also organize it a little bit better by renaming it. You can send it to the students. You can save it to the Snowflake community. You can add it to a list, duplicate it, download it, or delete it. Here are some lists that I've created. You can also create new lists if you don't have anything already. You can create new lists. So for this class roster, I put in my classroom organization folder. When you have put different activities into lists, you will go to the My Lessons Activity tab and you will go down to Lists. This will show you the different lists that you have created. You can send specific activities to students, or you can send the entire list to the students. Again, I will explain sending activities to students in a later video. You can also access the Nuiteq Snowflake account through your desktop, your Nuiteq Snowflake desktop version. The difference between the web and the desktop version is this desktop version you need your school computer to access. For the web, you can access your web account without having your school computer. So I'm going to go to Lesson Activities, And right now I'm not signed in, so I don't have access to all of my lesson activities. All you have to do is sign in to the Snowflake Web, and you can sign in with Google. And so now you should see, once you do that, you should see your school email pop up. So now I am in my Snowflake Web account. So if I went over to my lesson activities, I will then see all of the lesson activities I have played or created. You can see class roster, which we created earlier. This will be beneficial so that you do not have to take your school computer home. If you want to work on lessons at home, you can create lessons at home. And then once you come in and you sign into your ClearTouch board, your lessons should be on that account. If you go down to my lists, you can see all the different lists that I have created. Angles, classroom organization, all the different lists that I have created. You can also search lesson and create lessons through this desktop version.